Hello. Hey guys, how's it going? It's been a couple of weeks, and I know this. Apparently doing a weekly vlog is more difficult than I imagined. But that's okay. We'll catch up, and it'll be fine. I've been busy, as you can kind of see. I've been very, very busy. So, um, we'll go back over the highlights, I guess, of the last couple of weeks. Um, so I think when we left off, where were we? I honestly don't remember. So we're just going to start with the probably biggest thing that's happened in the last couple of weeks, and that is I went out of town. I left the state. I went on an airplane for the first time in the better part of 30 years, which was kind of frightening, but that's okay. I made it through. I survived. I navigated one airport that I haven't been to in for probably 20 years, give or take. Um, and then one airport in a city I've never been in, but navigated both of them well and got where I was supposed to go. And that's all good and fine. Spent a couple days down in Arizona for a family wedding. That was fun. Um, was expecting nice, dry desert experience, and it rained 2 of the 3 days I was down there. So that was a little not disappointing, but just a little odd. Odd, that's a good word. We'll go with odd. Um, and I don't want to go too much into the actual trip. I will just say this: if you are a person that is over 6 foot um, and can afford getting into first class or business class where they have more legroom, I would definitely recommend it because I flew basic economy, and yeah, legroom not great, not great. But the rest of it was fine. I mean, um, nothing to complain about. You know, flight was flight going out there was very, very smooth, and it left on time and all that. The security was not nearly as much of a experience as I thought it would be, and maybe they were just off that day, or I missed something, or I don't know. But I'm sorry about that. Um, but yeah, I mean, going through the Minneapolis security, I got through there very, very quickly. They kind of rushed us through, and then coming back um, at Sky Harbor in Phoenix, we had to go through, I mean, security and take off the shoes and the whole thing, but still, that was still a relatively quick process. So I'm not, because that was the one thing I was, again, not going to say worried about, but kind of, timid about. But now I've been through it, and I have basics, and I mean, if it gets a little bit worse than that, that's fine. Um, Obviously, I won't fly like around the holidays because that's insane. But yeah, definitely open to more travel. Um, as I've told several people, I'd like to go back to the Southwest just to kind of see it because I didn't really get to see it all that much. But that's okay. And then so I got home. To do technically Wednesday morning, the 24th. I arrived back at my apartment at about quarter after 1. Um, After a 2.5 hour flight, um, and had to go back to work that day. So that was a fun day. Um, and then Thursday, so Wednesday, or got home early Wednesday morning. Uh, Slept for a couple hours, went to work, came home, did nothing. Uh, Tried to relax as much as I could. Um, Next day, the 25th, had Strike 13 practice because we had a show on Friday at Club Underground, um, which was a lot of fun. it was us, a one-man band called who went by the handle Hastings 3000, I believe. Um, it was Barachas Inc. And who was the other band in the bill? Oh my God, who was the other band in the bill? I don't remember the name. Crap. Give me 2 seconds. I will look it up. Um, I will try to look it up because Facebook doesn't let you go into past events anymore, which is kind of annoying. But anyway, so no, but it was a good time. We were on first, I believe. Yeah, it doesn't let you go back. That kind of sucks. But it was fun. This was there we go. Oh, okay. I remember who it was now. Oh, I see it on my phone. So it was us during our punk rock thing, and I think this was, let's see, is this the second show, first show? Where we had, second show, because the first show was at Terminal, where we had both of our singers in tow and doing that. So that was fun. And then Hastings 3000 was just a one man band. Dude up there, he had a bass drum, a hi-hat, a snare drum on a pedal, which he played with his feet. And then he had an electric guitar, and he sang, and it was interesting. It sounded something like this.
When you're done, I want to get a picture of the band on the couch.
So that was Hastings 3000. Seemed like a nice guy. I talked to him a little bit afterwards. And then Barachas Inc. And then Ass Bastards of Mordor. Mordor. You know, Lord of the Rings place. And they went on without their vocalist, I believe. So they were doing an instrumental thing. But it was still pretty cool. I might have to check those guys out more. They had a good vibe about him. The guitarist I found humorous because he looked almost exactly like Jerry Garcia circa about 1968. Same kind of hair, the beard, the white rimmed glasses. It was kind of weird, kind of freaky. But those guys are pretty cool. And then oh boy, and then Saturday. Saturday was, well, every day in October is Halloween in Anoka. But this particular Saturday, off-duty astronauts returned to Billy's, one of our favorite places in Anoka, i.e. the only place we have ever played in Anoka, to do the Billy's portion of the Halloween evening weekend thing. Anoka, if you know or not know, is the self-proclaimed Halloween capital of the world. and they do not take that proclamation lightly. I got there early for that gig. I lifted over, and so I got there about 6. And Billy's itself was absolutely packed with both people in and out of costume. It looked like a normal dinner crowd, and then you inject all these people in costume. And as I'm sitting there, because it's a nice enough night that I can, and I'm standing outside for a while, but just the people walking down the street, it was amazing. I mean, some of these costumes were just incredible, and the variety was beyond me. Everything from, I mean, everything that I saw on the street, and we saw that night when we started playing. I mean, the Blues Brothers showed up. We had a Mr. and Mrs. Pac-Man. We had the character that Jason Momoa plays on Game of Thrones, the full deal with the eye thing and a whole deal. He looked good, actually. And various witches and warlocks and centurions in full armor, Roman centurions. And as I was waiting, standing outside waiting, across the street, I think there was somebody dressed up as one of the flying monkeys from Wizard of Oz who jumped on a post and started being very flying monkey-like. And they were walking in a group. There was at least a couple other Wizard of Oz characters. I didn't see don't remember exactly which ones. And then they were with a bunch of people from Alice in Wonderland. They had a Mad Hatter and Alice, and it was just nuts. It was insane. And so we get there and finally get there, and we get something to eat, which was a mistake. If you're going to play a show, do not get a whole order of beef nachos. Not a good thing. Didn't settle right. And then follow that with like 5 ciders or something. Anyway, it was a weird weekend. But no, it was good. It was cool. So we got there. We started. I mean, we didn't even pull in any gear. Okay, we were supposed to start at 10. We didn't even pull in any gear until probably 8:30, something like that. Maybe a little bit earlier, but not by much. I mean, it was, again, probably 8 o'clock before we even pulled in any gear, and they had a spot cleared for us. But then they told us, oh, we have a stage if you want it. Now, first time we played there, we were going to play outside, but it started raining, so they pulled us inside, and we just played on the floor. Second time we played there, we played outside on the patio. So this time they were like, oh yeah, we have a stage if you want it. And we were like, stage, we'll take it, yeah. And it was, turned out to be a couple pieces of plywood on essentially what was some milk crates. I mean, nothing gets Billy's. We love you, Billy's. Anytime you want us there, we will be there. But you clearly made the stage for a DJ and not for a 5-piece rock band, because we barely fit on it. I mean, we had it was tight. We're all on stage. We had the mic stands off stage, so we all fit, but it was tight. And anytime anyone moved, my cymbals over here kind of went, and bass drum kind of went. So as the night progressed, as Pam started moving more and jumping more as she does, which we appreciate that she does, as somebody said, I was, trying to hit moving targets. But we made it through, and oh my God, the crowd there was absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. We had some friends show up. Tank, my buddy from Outlaw Saint, he was there for a little bit, for most of our first set, standing right in the front. And we didn't have too many incidences of all the bad things you hear about when you're in a room full of really drunk people. Um, I mean, most of the night was really cool. I mean, it was, you know, obviously you're going to have, people kind of bumping into things, and we did have a couple of mic stands almost fall down, and anytime anybody went by the lights and kind of knocked them, they kind of went wobbly. But outside of that, it was a blast. One of the funnest shows I've ever played in my life, easily. God, probably top 2 or 3. And 2 of those happened in the last month, because when Strike played the Terminal, that was an awesomely fun show. So yeah, it was a good time. It was a really good time, and we're already booked for next year. We were standing with the owner after we were done, and kind of asking him how the night went, and I think it was me and Pam, and he just kind of, at some point, he was just like, "So, do you guys want to do it next year?" And we're like, "Absolutely," in a heartbeat. And he's like, "Oh, good. Now I don't have to find anybody else." So, yeah, we're booked for next year, and we're going to prepare. We're going to, because the other thing that happened, so we played two sets of like an hour 15, give or take, as opposed to our normal 3. And so after we get done with the first set, I'm standing off stage talking to someone, and I see the owner approach Pam with 2 envelopes and gives them to her. And we're like, okay. And then get back on stage, and Pam's like, "Oh yeah, we have to do judging of a costume contest, like now, like relatively soon." And we're like, "Okay, bring it on, I guess." So that was kind of haphazard. She just kind of basically looked out in the audience and said, "Okay, who's got a good costume? Who wants to be judged? Come up at the front." And that was about I don't know, probably got like a 15 or 20-minute ordeal to get that done. So next year we will be more organized. We'll know we'll have to do it. So we'll find a way to, anybody that wants to be entered, we'll like pre-enter them or something, do some sort of ballot system or something. We'll know that we have to do it, so we'll prepare better, so it won't be kind of last minute. And we might, what else we decided to do? I don't know. But next year will be better. This year was a blast, and next year will be better. So, yeah, so that was last weekend. Sunday, sleeping, still recovering from all that and the trip to Arizona. Had a couple of practices. Oh, excuse me. Had a couple of practices, and then we get to this week. And then I have a couple of quick announcements. This might actually be a somewhat short video. I know, I can do a video that's less than half hour long. Oh, I have that stuff to talk about too. Rogue Orbit, the acoustic trio offshoot of Off Duty Astronauts, had a gig on Thursday night at Driftwood Char Bar in South Minneapolis on 44th Nicollet. So basically how I see it is the Driftwood, I don't know if they do music every night, but definitely Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then they do like a Sunday afternoon thing. But on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, they essentially have music from 7 to 1. 7 in the evening to 1 in the morning when they close. And so they'll have a band or a couple bands from like 7:30 or 7 to 9:30, and Garage Orphans. When I was still in Garage Orphans, the one time we played the Driftwood, we played a 7 or 9:30 slot, and then they'll have the 9:30 to 1 normal 9:30 to 1 slot. So we were supposed to play in the 9:30 to 1 slot as a second band, so we were going on about 11:15. Doing the show with our buddies, Vinyl Recliner. So, and beforehand, there's a rally slash benefit for I think it's Dave Dave Hutch. I want to say Dave Hutch, who's running for sheriff. But they were having a big rally for him beforehand. That was the early show, and we got word that that show might be running late and whatever. So we were prepared for that. So we're like, okay, whatever. So I get there early. I get there. I don't know, 7:45, something like that. And I walk in, and the person that I believe is Dave Hodge is just at the tail end of giving his speech and his thank you, so I didn't really see much of that. And then he introduced the last band for that event, which was a band I've heard the name for years, but never got a chance to see them. And they're a band called the Mighty Mofos. And I got to tell you, they killed the room. I mean, in a good way. Not they cleared everybody out, but they absolutely destroyed that room. They were awesome. Just really, really straightforward 60s garage stuff, and it was just awesome. I mean, they ran a little bit later, so Vinyl Recliner started a little bit later. So they were supposed to start at 9:30. They went on closer to 10 and played their full set. So we probably didn't go on till 11:30, 11:45, somewhere in there. And so we did our thing. But it was fun. I forgot where I was going with that for a second. But it was fun. It was a good time. And there weren't a lot of people there. I mean, we're basically playing for the two members of Vinyl Recliner that stuck around. The woman named Sarah who booked it. Her and her friend hung around. And I think and then the staff, of course, and there were maybe a couple of people at the bar. So it wasn't a huge crowd, but it was still a fun show. It was a good atmosphere. Everybody was nice and responsive. Everybody liked it. I posted some pictures and videos that I was tagged in. I whatever you call that. So no, it was fun. It was a good time. And it I don't know. It was just fun. It was a good time. So we did that Thursday. I didn't do anything last night. And then tonight, ODA proper makes its way back to Neison's in Savage. So if you're not doing anything and happen to see this video, come out to Neison's. We started at 8:30. Full off-duty astronauts proper. So yeah, and then real quick, since who knows when I'll be doing the next one of these. Again, weekly turns out to be more difficult than you think. Next Friday. Next Friday, Outlaw Saint is headlining a show at the Terminal, so you should come up to that. Come up to that because Outlaw Saint is playing, but also we have Hot Rod Rodeo, our good buddies Hot Rod Rodeo, and our good friends Half Moon Devil. So I'm really looking forward to that show, actually, because I haven't hung out with any of those guys, either Rodeo or Devil, in a long time. Feels like a long time. So, and it's been probably even longer since I've seen them play. So I'm really looking forward to that show. That'll be a lot of fun. And then I'm going to spend the rest of the weekend recording. So Saturday, I'm going in to do stuff for Strike 13. We are recording an album. We hope to get it out in the spring. I think I've already said all this, but I think now I can officially say it. I hope so. Timmy, hope that's okay. But we are recording an album, so that should be fun. Should be a good time. And then Sunday, the 11th, I'm recording. Hopefully, I mean, the plan is to get the rest of the drum tracks done for the Outlaw Saint album. So hopefully that's the plan. Hopefully that'll work. So yeah, I've got, and then Thursday night. Sorry, jumping back. Thursday night, the 8th, is the finals of the Famous Days Battle of the Bands, which I plan to attend and support my friends Harbor and Home, who are in it, and that should be a good battle because every band on there is pretty much the kind of band that you would see at Famous Days, and you know what I mean if you know what I mean. So I'm interested to see who's actually going to, step up, who's going to go through. It'll be a good one. It'll be a good one. I mean, that's probably one of the better finals that I've seen, lineups through finals that I've seen in the last couple of years. So that'll be Thursday, and then terminal on Saturday or Friday, and then of course recording Saturday and Sunday, and then back to work on Monday. But that's okay. And the couple announcements that I have. So at Nison's, we've worked out a deal with them, and I shared this because they were looking for acoustic acts on Tuesdays. But Rogue Orbit, difficult to say, snagged the second Tuesday of the month. So for at least the next couple months, through April, I think, at least, and hopefully we'll be able to continue that. Rogue Orbit is going to be at Nison's second Tuesday of the month, from 7 to 9. So that's exciting to get a steady gig for the trio. And on top of that, starting in January, again, at least till April, and hopefully we can continue it, ODA proper will be at Nison's the last Saturday of the month. So second Tuesday, you have an acoustic trio. Last Saturday, you have ODA proper. So yeah, so if you've never been to Nison's, now you have no excuse not to go. Oh man. So yeah, so that's, I think that's about it. I think that's all I've got. Other than the fact that I received more stuff that I want to show up. Okay, hold on 2 seconds. So, when I was at Sword Metal Fest, there was this band that I'm pretty sure I talked about, called Agony Reigns, who are a bunch of teenagers who are just kicking ass all over the place. And they messaged me after probably after I tagged them in the video and said good things about them. They were like, hey man, thanks for the props. And we're doing this show with Doyle from the Misfits, obviously, on Monday the 29th of October. Would you like to go? We can send you a ticket. And I was like, yeah, absolutely. Turns out, what was I doing? I was doing something, or I was just exhausted. I don't remember that night. So I wound up not going, which I apologize for. And I messaged them, but they did send me a ticket. I got it on Monday, and so that probably wouldn't have worked out anyway, because I was probably just going to go straight from work over there. But they also sent me, because they had a deal where if you bought a ticket and a t-shirt, it would be a discount on both. So I had a t-shirt. So that's kind of badass. And they also sent, I love when I get the little handwritten notes. This is awesome. It says, hey man, once again, thank you for the support. Hope you enjoy the shirt. And to Doyle, see you Monday, Agony Reigns. So I didn't technically see them, but they are doing another show on, when is that happening? I believe the 17th. 17th of November at Lee's, which is one of the 2 weekends I have off. So definitely going to go to that, guys. It's definitely going to go to that. So we got that, and this is very cool too. You've heard me talk about these guys, the Badman. These guys are awesome. If you haven't checked them out, do so. This is their second album, or first. Is the first one EP on an album? I don't know. It's their second release. Laughing with Bad Teeth. It just came out. And they sent me a note typed, like on a typewriter. And you can tell it's typed on a typewriter, which I just appreciate the hell out of, because I think that's so cool. And it simply says, hello, Mr. Hickland. Nice and formal. Cheers from the Badman. Thank you for your continued support. We couldn't do any of this without you. All the best, the Badman. So these guys are really awesome. You should really check them out. As I've described them before, it's like if the Specials and the Clash had a baby. That's the easiest way to describe the Badman. But yeah, they're good guys. You should definitely check them out. What else? Goddamn. Is that it? That might be it. I think that's it. That can be it for now. So yeah, if you can, come out tonight. Nice and Savage. Terminal next week. Thursday night at Famous Dave's. Come down and support these guys, because they're really good. And yeah, I guess that's all I got. I think so. Yeah, I think that's it. And obviously, as more stuff comes up, I will let you all know. Yeah. So after tonight, the next ODA gig is New Year's at Nison's. So that should be fun. That should be a lot of fun. And then we're just gearing up for next year. So yeah, anybody have any good suggestions of where we could fit in? We're talking to, I think Pam's just in talks with the Shakopee, Shakopee Bowl, see if we can get in there. I'm talking to Paul out at Ziggy's in Stillwater, see if we can get something going there. We have the gigs at Nison's. Hopefully we can go back to Main Street a couple times next year. Well, hopefully more than twice would be nice, but again, anything that we get, we're not going to complain about. So yeah, so it should be good. So that's all I got for now. Have a wonderful evening and a good weekend, and Monday always comes too soon. See you later.